Welcome to my video, Pivoting 101. This video is for both leads and follows. I have a dissociation video, what is it and how do I get more? We in Tango always move from the upper body rotating and then the lower body follows as with a pivot, or we pivot the lower body first and the upper body follows. That is Tango across the board. Whether we're doing ochos, or we're doing lappies, bottom half goes, rest of the body follows. Before we can do any of these moves, I think too often the two concepts are taught together. Dissociate the body and pivot, where no one really talks about the pivot, and improper pivoting can cause all kinds of problems, hip, knee, foot, okay, even sometimes back problems. So we're not going to dissociate in this class, that's another video. We're just going to talk about the pivoting part of it, and once you have that down, then you can work on your dissociation technique much better. So for pivoting, you need to be able to clear your heel. Okay, usually we always have our weight on one foot or the other when we dance tango. We're not sliding with both feet on the floor, usually, okay? Some leaders' moves may require that, but overall we're on one foot or we're on the other, and if we're to change direction, we have to lift the heel and put it down. So the first thing I would have you do is to just slowly lift your heel, just clearing it from the floor. I'm not doing a full calf raise, I'm just clearing from the floor with my trunk staying stable, 5 times on one side, without crashing down. That's a little bit jarring. And without losing my trunk, very still trunk, very still hips. Nothing here, nothing here. And then the same thing on the other side, staying tall through the standing joint. My hip should not be sticking out there as I'm lifting my hip up and down. That needs to be straight and long. I always think 4 points, okay, that helps me. Shoulders and hips maintain this box. It's kind of a rectangular box. As I do little heel lifts with good control and the other foot is off the floor, if you touch the standing leg, that makes your balance easier. So don't touch the standing leg. Slightly away, just 5 times. Again, it's not a calf raise, it's just your heel clearing the floor and coming down controlled without kicking out over your little toe, all right? There are the ankle strengthening exercises that I have in another video that you can do for that. Once you can do 5 times, just lifting your heel, then we can talk about turning. So I would put your hands on your hips just so that your arms aren't getting in the way of anything. And you're gonna stand, let's start on the left leg. So as you lift up the other foot to pivot, be sure that your hips are staying level, that you're not lifting the hip, okay? The foot is going to be on the floor on the right when I start, but as I lift my left heel to pivot, the right foot is going to come off the floor. I'm going to lift and heel up, down. So 1 unit. So I'm not twisting at all. I'm not worrying about dissociation. I'm just working on maintaining hip, knee, foot alignment. Frequently, I'll see a twist. Twisting and then the heel lifts. Twisting and then the heel lifts. This causes a lot of pain and can cause damage to the joints of the hip, knee, foot, ankle, okay? So maintaining good hip, knee, foot alignment, no trunk rotation, you should be able to lift and move as 1 unit without any twisting in the hip and leg area, all right? So this is what we're working on, hip, knee, foot alignment, and we're moving the whole body as 1 unit right now. We're not talking dissociation at all, that comes later. So hands on the hips, I'm gonna have you do 5 times a heel lift. We did 5 in place with good alignment. Now we're just gonna turn clockwise, standing on the left foot, and every time my heel lifts, my right foot comes off the floor to pivot. We're going to do 5 heel lifts to make it a complete circle clockwise, standing on the left foot. Here we go. 1, 2, no twisting the trunk, 3, 4, 5. Now the tendency is going to be to twist the upper body to get yourself around. That's not what we're doing here. We're working pivoting 101. You have to be able to maintain good alignment without the trunk rotation first, and then you can do the dissociation exercises where you dissociate the top from the bottom. But you can't do that without doing this first. So we did clockwise, and so now standing on the left foot, counterclockwise, 1 unit. So we're lifting the heel 5 times. So no leaning. Remember to maintain the box and facing front. And then we do the same thing the other side, clockwise. Remember to stand tall through the hip. If I don't stand tall through the hip muscles, this will happen. This will happen. Tall through the hip muscles. So I lift the heel, I maintain this good box. Standing on the right foot, 1 unit, 5 heel raises to go counterclockwise. 1, I'm lifting up the opposite foot every time I pivot. 3, 4, and to the front 5. Then we make this a little harder by moving just 3 times in a circle without twisting. That's the hard part. So moving as 1 unit, you have to really pull up tall through the hip muscles, suck in the abdominals to maintain the stability here. So 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Be careful you don't twist. I'm going to show you counterclockwise incorrectly. 1, this is incorrect. You see how much my trunk moved? You want to move like a 2x4 board. Same thing standing on the right leg. I'm going to go counterclockwise first. 1, it's a little harder for me this side. 2, 3, and then clockwise. 1 unit, no twisting. I'm just lifting my heel to turn my body. So that's something very simple you can do to practice maintaining hip, knee, foot alignment before you start to attack dissociation. Dissociation, again, is the top leading the bottom or the bottom leading the top. But if you can't do a pivot, maintaining excellent alignment and trunk stability, you really shouldn't be working dissociation yet, okay? So work one thing and then the other. Hope this helps.